I have 3 children that attend the Wisconsin School for the Deaf. They are 8, 7, and 4 years old, so they're all elementary level. All of them started out in a public school with limited services and accommodations. We started running into problems when the service providers, teachers, and administrators couldn't fully comprehend the deficits that are created by not receiving direct access to teachers or peers through sign language. They had DHH services in public school, but the quality was focused on oral access, with the DHH teacher having limited knowledge on appropriate goals, accommodations, and overall services provided to my deaf child. Both their father and I have hearing loss as well, and grew up in a mainstream school. So we both know the difficulties of not having direct access to peers and teachers because you can't always understand them. A lot of the focus was on oral communication in my situation, and for the father, he had to communicate through an interpreter. At 3 years of age, my deaf child was behind on expressive and receptive language. The school he was in prior to WSD wanted to take a wait-and-see approach before adding more DHH services. At that point, I knew we needed to find something else, so we scheduled a tour with WSD last spring. We ended up selling our house to move into the area, as my youngest wouldn't have been able to go into the dorms. That decision in itself was hard because I didn't know many people, but the community as a whole is very accepting and welcoming of the new families. They also have a lot of family-friendly events that you can immerse yourself into ASL with. When you think about the environment that will be most beneficial to a deaf or hard of hearing child, you need to decide if they have 100% access. For example, when you play telephone, it doesn't matter which language it's in. The message you end up with is likely distorted from what you started with. In a regular public school setting, a child with any amount of hearing loss will be missing out, even with an interpreter and/or hearing equipment. Having direct access at WSD with their bilingual approach then becomes a positive when you think about the high prevalence of mental health conditions in the deaf and hard of hearing population. Since starting at WSD, my deaf child that was behind in language all of a sudden has exploded in both his receptive and expressive. My other 2 children are hard of hearing and struggled with signing because their focus in public school was on the oral piece, when at home we needed the signing. So that was negatively impacted. Now that they have been at WSD for almost a year, they are expanding on their language, and I've noticed more positive communication at home. My children have also been able to join clubs, something they wouldn't have been able to do prior to attending WSD. Overall, our experience has been worth the move and the change in schools.